Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah! Hello. Hi.
I'm Daria,
I'm Jordan.
and welcome back to Movie Blah Blah.
It's been a minute.
It has been a
Yep.
minute. So today we're reviewing the movie Breaking In with Gabrielle Union and others.
Featuring others.
Featuring others. So Jordan, would you like to give us a...
I would love to talk about the plot. Yeah. Sure, I'll do that. So basically, Gabrielle Union, she plays a mom, and she takes her two kids, her daughter and son, to her dad's house so they can get it ready to sell on the market. But when they get there, surprise, other people are wanting to go to the house to steal a bunch of money, and drama and thrills ensue. Daria, what did you think of Breaking In?
So, I thought it was very suspenseful. Gabrielle Union is a badass. But I had some issues.
Oh.
I did.
Okay.
Like, I was into it. The ending didn't really... There was something missing from the ending. And there were a few things like, why didn't this house with a bunch of security have a gun inside? What did you think?
Yeah, so I'll get some positives in there.
Okay.
So I think that the actress who plays the daughter, she's also in 13 Reasons Why.
That's who that is. I was
was.
trying to figure it out the entire
Yeah,
time.
so I thought she was good. I thought the boy actor who played the character Glover, he was good. Who I worked with on Night Squad, a TV show I do background on a lot. So he was there. So that was kind of cool. I thought they were good, and Gabrielle Union was fine, and those are my positives. So my other thoughts on the film. All right, so here's my thing. I can pretty much summarize my problem with the movie and round it all out. This one thing. This guy. The actor who plays the main bad guy. He didn't give a fuck that he was in this movie. He read his lines like he just did not care.
Do exactly what I say, or you and your kids will not survive this night.
Like there's a part where he's talking to his fellow henchman trying to steal the money, and he just calmly looks at them and he says, if the cops are gonna get here within an hour, if we don't find the safe, we have to leave. And there's And there's another part where Gabrielle Union breaks in the house and he's on the phone with one of his henchmen and he just goes, she's in the house. And it was it was just so lazy. And that's how I say everything about this movie was. It was lazy. It was just, there was no charisma. There was no energy going. There wasn't any humor. It was just, so the reason why I wanted to see this movie is because I like Gabrielle Union. But I also thought from the trailers that this movie is going to be a very generic home invasion thriller. And there's so many home invasion thrillers. There are a dime a dozen now. You can find 20 on Netflix every new month, whatever. And so it's now with home invasion thrillers, you need a gimmick. So Hush. That was a really good one where the main character, the protagonist, is deaf.
Deaf, yeah.
That's the gimmick. You're Next, the main character is this badass, specialist who can kill you with 3 moves. That's a gimmick. The Collector, that's one where the serial killer goes to invade the house and there's people robbing the house at the same time, so they're at each other. So these home invasion thrillers.
Room.
I haven't seen it.
Oh wow.
Brie Larson, that one.
Or no, Panic Room.
Panic Room.
I'm sorry, Panic Room.
Okay, I was gonna say
Jodie Foster and
Kristen Stewart.
Where they get locked in the house with these robbers and they're in this panic room.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, there's been so many home invasion thrillers. They're so generic now that you almost need it's a home invasion thriller, but in that thing. And with this, it was I could tell from the trailers it's just gonna be generic. The most it had going for it was the house was uber secure,
Yeah.
And it could detect movement in the house, but that was just so weak. I didn't care.
Yeah. It had an iPad thing that showed a motion sensor of who was in what room and whatever. I knew that it was gonna be cliche from the moment they get there and they're looking at the photos, and the only photo that is fallen and is cracked right down in between the two people was Gabrielle Union as a child and her father, because they had mentioned in the beginning they had issues and hadn't talked for years, and I'm like, of course that was the photo, of course that was the only one that just happened to be broken right down in between them. Like,
I'm glad you pointed it out, because I forgot about that, because when I saw that, it was just like there were already so many like lazy, like been there done that plot devices where it's just like, that was just like, you know, there's nothing original to the movie. And like, at least if you're not gonna do anything original, at least like have some like energy or some fun with it. So like the villain, have him be charismatic. In the beginning, have the characters be like really funny, you know, just so like whenever shit does go down, you like, I really care for these people. You know? And like, even like whenever the home invasion, the thrilling start happens, like in real life, like there's like, you know, there's like funny moments in life, like awkward funny moments, you know? And they didn't even have that. Like, I wanted some of the siblings.
The only one that was funny was like, was it Gabrielle Union who ran down the hallway? And it was just kind of like, the guy comes in and she runs down the hallway, and it was just kind of funny watching her, like,
you know what?
They run away. Like, I heard you giggle during that part.
Because I felt like I was watching a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Right?
Because it was like the guy walk in the forefront, and then you see Gabriel and you're like, in the back. I expected them just like, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I started laughing. Just like, oh my god. And then the part where she's like literally like Spider-Man on the side of the staircase.
Like, with her leg.
The guy's on the banister, he's looking around like, where is she? And the camera goes down, and you see, it's like the core she must have had to like been on the side of the staircase.
Right? And then he like barely walks away, and then she like ninjas her way down. Yeah. But it's like, how could she do that, yet she could barely fight the people? Yet her dad was some guy who had $4 million in his house.
Did I miss something? Do you know what the deal was with the dad? Why was he so rich? Or
I think it was something about fraud, or like, but it wasn't even like he was a spy, or he was like trained her as a child, which is why she has all these skills. Like I think she just had like her basic mother instincts and was like, I'm gonna get my kids no matter what. I'm gonna figure it out. And she was smart, but like, which is why I wanted to see this film, because I love kick-ass moms who fight and like beat up men to get her children back, like the Halle Berry movie when her kid gets kidnapped.
Yep, I think it's called Kidnapped.
Oh, there you go. What an original title. But yeah, there was just nothing, I guess, new.
I agree.
That was different.
I agree. And something I want to say, I'll mention this in the pros. I think the actor who played the Mexican like tattoo guy.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was good.
Yeah.
He at least, so there wasn't any like menacing, like I didn't feel the threat from the people. Like, I wanted the main bad guy.
There was a boring bad guy who just was monotone the entire time, which is supposed to be the ringleader.
And I want him to lose his shit. Like, whenever he says, like, we only have an hour left, he should, like, go to one of his henchmen and grab him by the shirt and be like, we only have a fucking hour left. Like,
like, he was just so, I was like, hasn't the hour gone by already? I feel like the cops should be showing up, and he's just like, I'm gonna get in your house. And, like, not even panicking. You didn't feel the time limit.
No, there was no sense of urgency.
Yeah.
And, like, it cuts to them, like, comically, like, just flipping over, like, desk drawers, hoping to find a safe in there.
Yeah.
And they're just, like, slowly just, like,
damn it!
They should have been, like, tearing that shit out, like, clothes flying everywhere, whatever. There wasn't that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
And my other thing was the blonde-haired henchman guy. So they kind of he was the one that we were going to sympathize with, because he's like, yo, man, they're just kids. We shouldn't kill them.
Yeah, I didn't like his acting.
I didn't like anyone's acting in this movie. There should have been a scene, just like a specific moment where, like, he goes in the room with the kids, and like he sees like the kids, like I don't know, the boy playing with like an action figure or something, he'd be like, oh, that's cool, you know, I play with action figures, something a little bit more, just to develop character. Just because it was like generic henchman guy
pacing back and forth, like, oh man, these kids are tied up, and he's just like, man, I don't want to kill these kids. Like you could see in his head, he's just like trying to act, not actually acting. Like I noticed it when he walked in to tell the guy, like, hey, we should just leave the kids alone, but he was like using his hands a lot, and I'm like, you don't look natural.
It was just a more interesting way of portraying that in a way that I could have connected with that guy, because there's one point where the Mexican guy, he was like, you know, if you don't do it, I'll kill you next or whatever. And so I was like, I wanted to feel bad for the blonde-haired guy, but at the same time it was like, there's no character development. And I think, so, I know I said I didn't want to get into spoilers, but can we get into spoilers?
We're getting into spoilers, so if you don't want to hear any, turn this off now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So you mentioned you had a problem with the ending, and I did as well. And so what was your problem with the ending?
It was just so cliche, like, the music, I don't know if you, it was just like, the cliche, like, oh, we won, like everything's good now, and the husband was this big guy who got his ass beat by this smaller white man who happened to have a gun, but like the guy punched him and he like went down and was just like passed out, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you couldn't, your wife is in there, you see that there's blood everywhere, there's a dead body, and you're gonna go down that easily? Like, you're this huge guy, and then they just huddle together in the end, and we're okay.
Yeah.
And then sirens cue. Just so unfulfilling.
It wasn't, and so whenever you see the family huddled together, and the camera pulls up, and you see like the red, blue lights of the cops coming, and I was thinking like, okay, I wonder what the scene's going to be after this.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
But then I realized, as we're about to cut to credits, it was like, we don't have anywhere to go from here because they haven't developed the main characters enough, where it's like, what scene is necessary to come after this? So it's like, you know, The Visit. I was thinking of The Visit, M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit, where it's like M. Night Shyamalan develops those characters in the beginning, so after the thrilling, suspenseful scenes, you know, he can tie up the character arc in a little cute little after scene with just the family, no suspense, you know. And it was like, in the beginning, they didn't do any character development. It was just generic kids, characters, shit happens, movie ends. There was nothing else to explore.
Yeah.
And so it was like, you know, it was it. It was just generic. It was just, you know.
And of course, the gasoline, they're gonna burn down the house, and then of course she puts the gasoline on the money and holds the lighter above. She's like, you can't shoot me because I'm gonna drop the lighter and the thing, and it's gonna burn all the money and everything would be for nothing. It's just like, there's nothing new.
I was just some energy, just any kind of character development, but there wasn't any of it. And I also, and I know I've said it before, I know there's successful horror movies or thriller movies that are PG-13, but I also think this hurt this movie again because it was like they had to play it safe. So like a character gets her neck slit, but it's like, we don't see it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, I think that hurts the ability to get the main villain to be nasty. Because if you notice, like, the only word that the henchman used to describe the mom was, there should be a supercut of this on YouTube, was, bitch, that bitch. And it was just like, I think that was like the only PG-13 level curse word they could use. And like, you know, with bad guys, you want to see them do something really nasty.
Yeah. I thought they were gonna like stab one of the kids or something.
Yeah.
Didn't the kid shoot the man, but then he somehow ended up with the gun and was chasing after
I think
them?
He missed.
Oh, of course.
I don't know.
And then the guy got hit by a car twice forward, like she runs over him in a big truck and then backwards, yet he still is alive somehow.
Yeah.
My same issue with freaking Strangers, where the car blows up with him inside of it after being crashed a million times. Like, blows up, and he's still alive? Like, really? Come on. So...
You know what? After this movie, The Strangers 2 looks like a masterpiece. It looks like Citizen Kane of home invasion movies after this.
Oh my god.
So at least that movie kind of knew how to be a little unique and fun.
Yeah, I mean, I had more fun in The Strangers. I was yelling at the screen and like, really?
Yeah.
But like, it was more fun to watch than this.
Yeah.
It was just like everything you've seen before. I love Gabrielle Union. But come on.
Yeah, it was just
It was-
generic. I wanted to see this movie because I was hoping that they would do something new and interesting that they hadn't revealed in the trailers, but they didn't.
So,
And so, was there anything else you didn't like?
there was a shot in the end. It's like right before it cuts to them pulling away and the family huddled together, like, and the sirens, of course. It was like of the roof and some trees. I think it was dark. I couldn't tell. I didn't see the point in that shot. Maybe they just didn't have something to transition, but I thought they could have just cut to the family. I don't know. It was weird. And also they reused a shot of the boy flying the drone, where it flies behind him and he goes like that. They used it twice, and I was like,
That's
just
so
used
embarrassing.
that shot. Why is this? Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh,
Anything?
yes, that reminds me. So, I don't know why this bothered me. Maybe it's not a big deal. I thought it was kind of a big deal. But so, in the opening, you see the death of the father, Gabriel Union's character. And he's jogging, and this truck runs him over, right? In the middle of the street, okay? Like a suburban neighborhood street.
Daytime.
And you see some feet come out of the truck, walks over. The
Cowboy boots, of course.
The dad looks up, and then bam, curb stomp. And I so badly wanted to hear, like, hey, someone call 911. Like,
Yeah.
someone just curb stomped that guy in the middle of broad daylight.
I noticed. I was like, what? Like, it's complete day, and you just murdered someone
Yeah.
in the middle of like a 4-way cross. Like, I'm sure there are more cars and there are people
It
who
was...
are looking out the window like, oh my god, that guy just got hit by a car.
Yeah. It was so bizarre. Because there's like I saw someone on Rotten Tomatoes, they called the home invaders they said the home invaders in this movie make the home invaders in Home Alone look like Ocean's 11. And I was waiting for the moment where I'd be like, okay, I get that. In like opening scene, these guys curb stomp a guy in broad daylight, and I was like, okay, yeah, these guys are idiots. So yeah. I just thought that was bizarre.
Yeah. Sadly, thumb down.
Yeah, thumb down. 2 thumbs down for me. Like, this is just...
Wow.
The director, James McTeague, I recognize that name. I know he's done some other pretty big movies. So when I saw it directed by James McTeague in the credits, I was like, okay, maybe, this will be a better movie than what I thought. But it was just like, I think he just needed a paycheck or something. Like,
Looks like they all did,
yeah.
unfortunately. But, yeah, so if you saw this movie and you disagree with us, leave a comment below.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Right? Argue with us, please.
I would love to debate this.
Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. It was funny because when we were watching the trailers, I noticed that me and Jordan were in the same position watching these trailers. Our trailer watching.
Yeah,
face.
analyzing the Mamma Mia. We were both so into the Mamma Mia 2 trailer. We were like analyzing like it was like sent from the heavens. Like, what is this?
I'm actually excited for Mamma Mia. Too.
I'm embarrassed to say I haven't seen the first Mamma Mia.
What?
I know.
Jordan, we're watching it right now.
I know.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna make him watch Mamma Mia. So.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.